Welcome all the collectors of the coast. I'm Cash,
And I'm Dash.
and we're here to do another Fireside Tales. Hasn't been little while since we've done one, and today we're going to do a really good one. And this is the story of Beauty and the Beast. Now, Magic: The Gathering and Throne of Eldraine did a really great job on the Beauty and the Beast cards. They really did with the Disney kind of stories. They really made cards that really covered kind of the whole gamut of the story. So the story started with a really big card, Once Upon a Time, which is, the beginning of pretty much all of these classic stories. And then it went into the story. And there's cards that kind of go across more than one story, like Beloved Princess. Beloved Princess easily be Belle. In this case, I think it's actually Belle of the Brawl is supposed to be Belle, so she's kind of a kick-ass princess character in Throne of Eldraine, and a pretty cool card, actually, if you look at it. And it goes through kind of you get a little bit of the tale with the Lovestruck Beast, and the beast turns into a human in it, and so you get the strong beast and the 1/1 human in it. And then, of course, True Love's Kiss again goes across a number of the things, but True Love's Kiss is what turns the beast back into a human. And then they also have the Happily Ever After card, which of course is a real mainstay of that Disney kind of feel of, and they lived happily ever after, that sort of simplistic Disney kind of tale. So very interesting, the cards they've done, and they've done a really good job. We'll see of the Beauty and the Beast and the Cinderellas and those kind of tales. The next one we're actually going to do is Hansel and Gretel. They've actually done a really good job of that as well. There's a number of really good cards, which we'll go into. So, Beauty and the Beast was written by a French novelist back in 1740s. It's a really old tale. They didn't really not super similar to what we would maybe get out of our Disney tale today. It was eventually made into it was called in a book called The Young American and Marine Tales. Its lengthy version was abridged because the first one was really lengthy, and published by Jean-Marie Le Prince de Dupont in 1756. Okay, and we started to see it look more like itself in 1889. So quite a long time. So it's got quite a long tale. There's variants of the tale all across Europe. So you'll see lots of different variants across Europe. I'm going to read the plot to the original tale, and you tell me if this sounds like the Beauty and the Beast now. So this is a few pages long. So in Villeneuve's version, which is one of the older versions, a widower merchant lives in a mansion with his 12 children, 6 sons and 6 daughters. All his daughters are very beautiful, but the youngest was named Little Beauty, for she was the most gorgeous. She continued to be named Beauty till she was a young adult. She was the most lovely as well as kind, well-read, and pure of heart, while her elder sisters, in contrast, are cruel, selfish, vain, and spoiled. The merchant eventually loses all his wealth in a tempest at sea which sinks most of the merchant fleet. He and his children are consequently forced to live in a small cottage in a forest and work for a living, while Beauty makes a firm resolution to rural life with a cheerful disposition. Her sisters do not, and mistake her determination for stupidity. Some years later, the merchant hears that one of the trade ships he had sent arrived back to port, having escaped the destruction of its companions. Before leaving, he asks his children if they wish for him to bring any gifts back for them. His oldest daughters ask for clothing, jewels, and the finest dresses possible, as they think his wealth has returned. Beauty asks for nothing but her father to be safe. But when he insists on buying her a present, she is satisfied with the promise of a rose, as none grow in their part of the country. The merchant, to his dismay, finds that his ship's cargo has been seized to pay his debts, leaving him penniless and unable to buy his children presents. During his return, the merchant becomes lost at storm. Seeking shelter, he comes upon a castle. Seeing no one is home, the merchant sneaks in and finds tables inside laden with food and drink, which seem to have been left for him by the castle's invisible owner. The merchant accepts this gift and spends the night there. The next morning, The merchant has come to view the palace as his own possession and is about to leave to fetch his children when he sees a rose garden and recalls that Beauty had desired a rose. The merchant quickly plucks the loveliest rose he can find and is about to pluck more to create a bouquet, only to end up being confronted by a hideous beast who tries to kill him for stealing his most precious possession. After accepting his hospitality, the merchant begs to be set free, revealing that he had only picked the rose as a gift for his youngest daughter. The beast agrees to let him go. Agrees to let him give the rose to Beauty, but only if the merchant brings one of his daughters to take his place without deception. He makes clear she must agree to take his place while under no illusions about her predicament. The merchant is upset, but he agrees to this condition. The beast sends him on his way with wealth, jewels, and fine clothes for his sons and daughters, and stresses that his daughters must not be lied to. The merchant, upon arriving home, hands Beauty the rose she requested and informs her it had a terrible price, before relaying what happened during his absence. Her brothers say they will go to the castle and fight the beast, while his older daughters refuse to leave and place blame on Beauty, urging her to right her own wrong. The merchant dissuades them, forbidding his children from ever going near the beast. Beauty decides to go to the beast's castle. The following morning, she and her father set out atop a magical horse, which the beast has provided them with. The beast receives her with great ceremony, and her arrival is greeted with fireworks, entwining their initials. He gives her lavish clothing and food, and carries on lengthy conversations with her, and she notes he is inclined to stupidity rather than savagery. Every night, the beast asks Beauty to sleep with him, only to be refused each time. After each refusal, the Beauty dreams of a handsome prince, whom she falls in love with, despite the apparition of a fairy urging her not to be deceived by appearances. She does not make the connection between the prince and the beast, and becomes convinced the beast is holding him captive somewhere in the castle. She searches and discovers many enchanting rooms containing sources of entertainment, ranging from libraries, aviaries, to enchanted windows, allowing her to attend the theater. She also comes across many animals, including parrots and monkeys, that act as servants, but never the unknown prince from her dreams. For several months, Beauty lives the life of luxury at the Beast Castle, having every whim catered to, with no end of riches to amuse her, and an endless supply of exquisite finery to wear. Eventually, she becomes homesick and begs the Beast to allow her to go see her family again. He allows it, on the condition that she returns exactly 2 months later. Beauty agrees to this and is presented with an enchanted ring which allows her to wake up in her family's new home in an instant, and then when turned 3 times around her finger. Her older sisters are surprised to find her well-fed and dressed in finery, and their jealousy quickly flares when their suitors' gaze turn to Beauty, even though she bestows lavish gifts on them and informs the men that she is only there to witness her sisters' weddings. However, Beauty's heart is moved by her father's overprotectiveness, and she agrees reluctantly to stay longer. When 2 months have passed, she envisions the Beast dying alone in the castle grounds and hastens to return despite her brother's resolve to prevent her from doing so. Once she is back in the castle, Beauty's fears are confirmed, and she finds the Beast near death in a cave on the grounds. Seeing this, Beauty is distraught, realizing that she loves him. Despite this, she remains calm and fetches water from a nearby spring, which she uses to resuscitate him. That night, she agrees to marry him, and when she wakes up next to him, she finds the Beast transformed into the unknown prince from her dreams. This is followed by the arrival of the fairy who had previously advised her in her dreams along with a woman she does not recognize in a golden carriage pulled by white stags. The woman turns out to be the prince's mother, whose joy quickly falters when she finds out that Beauty is not of noble birth. The fairy chastises the mother and eventually reveals that the Beauty is her niece, with her actual father being the queen's brother from Happy Island and her mother being the fairy's sister. When the matter of the Beauty's background resolved, she requests the prince tell his tale, and so he does. The prince informs her that his father died when he was young, and his mother had to wage war to defend his kingdom. The queen left him in the care of an evil fairy who tried to seduce him when he became an adult. When he refused, she transformed him into a beast. Only by finding true love, despite his ugliness, could the curse be broken. He and Beauty are married, and they live happily ever after together. Now that was the one version. Now there was a abridged version by Beaumont, and he simplified it really significantly. And so that was a big difference, and that's why we see kind of sort of the simplified versions today, and so very different. So obviously this is a book that has been redone a whole bunch of times, and so we saw it in things like there's a Beauty and the Beast retold in 1886. Another book in 1978, Beauty, the retelling of the story of Beauty and the Beast by Robert McKinley. You see there's a whole bunch of them. One by Tanith Lee called Beauty. I remember there was a Beast Canadian television show not long ago. What else is here for you guys? Oh, there you go. Belle, an Amish retelling of Beauty and the Beast by Sarah Price. A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I actually read that book. What else? A film, lots of films. Beauty and the Beast, 1962. 1987, there was a live-action movie. Of course, the famous one by Disney in 1991 that everyone knows. And there's a Viking periodic film. It was very bloody, called Blood of the Beasts. And of course, more recently in 2017, they remade it again into sort of a live adaptation of Beauty and the Beast as well. So there's been all kinds of them. There was a Beauty, like I said, there was a Beauty and the Beast television show. I remember watching that a little bit. And is there anything else I missed? Happily Ever After. There's fairy tales for that. Grimm fairy tale episodes. The Once Upon a Time, there's Skin Deep. One of the episodes was all about Beauty and the Beast. And there's been theater for it. I remember watching it in the theater. Actually, I remember going to see it in the theater as well. There's hidden object games, all kinds of games to do with Beauty and the Beast as well. So, a really interesting story. Again, Throne of Eldraine did a really good job. Did you like that version?
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad, right? So, I hope you enjoyed. Everyone enjoy and stay calm out there. I know it's a little frustrating time right now, and we're all stuck at home. Everyone have a magical day, and I hope you live happily ever after.